All right, guys, it's time for our cover price top 10 2 years later. All right, guys, we're going to get into this top 10 from 2 years ago, thanks to Covrprice. But first, if you could, you know what to do. The follow, the thumbs up, the comments, all that, all the social media, the Twitter, the Instagram, hit the follow here. And of course, whatnot. We've got auctions coming Monday nights. Keep an eye out for that. And Friday, is it February 20-something, the next live YouTube auction. Mark it on your calendars. Friday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, I think we start. I'll be posting on Instagram. That's why you got to follow me over there. But anyway, this list comes to us from our friends at Covrprice. This is focusing on their top 10 from 2 years ago. We're going to talk about the values that they were 2 years ago and where they are now. What is the current market value? So with that, guys, check the description down below. There is a discount code for Covrprice. If you're not signed up, give it a shot. It's a great tool. You literally can watch your collection fluctuate based on the current fair market values. With that, let's get into this. Which books were boost and which were a bust? Let's start with number 10. This is Justice Society of America number 1. This issue features the first appearance of Cyclone, Liberty Bell, and a cameo of Tomcat. This is specifically trending thanks to Cyclone being announced to appear in DC's Black Adam film. It had a high sale of $19.99 for a raw copy, 9/8 selling around $75. 2 years later, we now know the actress Quintessa Swindell is confirmed to be playing the role of Cyclone. Despite this confirmation, raw values have dropped significantly to $8, though 9.8 values have increased to a fair market value of $100. This is the clear difference in Marvel versus DC, where the smallest detail in a Marvel project skyrocket in value, yet a confirmed appearance in a big DC film has barely moved in 2 years. Or does this mean that there's an opportunity in this book? We received Black Adam teasers recently. They've shown characters like Atom Smasher, Dr. Fate, and maybe audiences simply need to see her in action. Regardless, at an $8 fair market value, the risk is low. It is a bust raw, and it is a slight boost graded. We've talked about this before. Obviously, the 9/8s come at a premium, but a small one, and it's a great point here. We see the littlest thing. For example, Doctor Strange, the teaser, a trailer just came out for the Super Bowl, and the secondary market, the speculation's going absolutely bonkers. Whereas this confirmed character, which we've seen a quick glimpse of in a teaser trailer, is barely going anywhere. But for $8, is it worth taking an $8 risk that maybe this book bumps up a bit? Why not on a raw copy? And I think $100 for a 9/8 on a first appearance is always a good bet. But what do I know? Instead, let's go down to number 9. This is the Spire number 1. 2 years ago, the Spire was rumored to be optioned by Blue Ice Pictures. However, there was no confirmation at the time. Regardless, it had a high sale of $18 for a raw copy. 2 years later, the news never came. Granted, in February of 2020, we were just heading into the beginning stages of COVID, which derailed Hollywood for a good solid year, and still trying to catch up. Sellers still list this as optioned, though it never officially was, and has since dropped to a fair market value of $7, which copy is selling for as low as $2. This is a great reminder to not buy upon content rumors around independent comics. It's a bust, but guys, $2 to $7 on something that could potentially be optioned. Take the chance, make a couple bucks, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Is it a bust? Only if you paid $18 for the book. Yeah, you lost a little bit. $12. We've seen books plummet way more than $12. So don't beat yourself up if you're into this for $18, $20. Don't worry about it. Let's go down to number 8. This is Lois Lane number 7, the Putri variant. If you recall, 2 years ago, this issue featured the first cameo appearance of the Kiss of Death, who was billed as Lois Lane's new supervillain. FOMO was strong around this issue, particularly this variant, with a raw copy hitting a high sale of $30. 2 years later, it's Kiss of Death who? The villain was only around for 4 issues, and she was revealed to be Renee Montoya's lover, who sacrificed her powers to save her in issue number 11, with the kiss of death effectively gone. This issue sells about 1 copy each month, trending at a raw fair market value of $7, and 9/8 selling for $13. This is a bust. This one stings a little bit more than number 9, but shame on you if you're that FOMO buyer. We say that every week too. Don't fall for that, man. Don't fall for these new off-the-rack brand new characters. There's way more characters like this than there are of the Punchlines of the world, right? Where Punchline's still holding a little bit of value. The Batman Who Laughs, who are still like these newer DC characters. Way more of Kiss of Death characters than there are the Punchlines of the world. So try not to fall for it. Now, if the book is in your pull list, who cares, right? If you're paying cover price, who cares? But if you're out there paying $30 for the first appearance of the Kiss of Death in a Lois Lane book, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Let's go down to number 7. This is Avengers Annual number 10. I love it. I love this book. 2 years ago, Rogue's first appearance in this issue heated up quickly due to a rumor of her possibly appearing as the villain in Captain Marvel 2 that we now know as the Marvels. It was trending at a fair market value of $70 raw with a high sell of $4.95 for a 9/8. 2 years later, this rumor is still prevalent. Even if not, Rogue is a key member of the X-Men that fans are looking forward to seeing in the MCU one day. So even if she doesn't appear in the Marvels, she will appear one day. In fact, X-Men books are skyrocketing in value thanks to the ever-growing excitement of Marvel weaving in mutants. The recent reveal of Patrick Stewart's voice in the recent Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness Super Bowl trailer has thrown major fuel on the fire. Raws are still holding at about a $70 fair market value, but 9.8s have increased to a huge fair market value of $1,700. You know why, guys? Because this is a nice Bronze Age key. This is a great book. Bronze, I'm sorry. This is kind of like a copper modern age book. But still, this is a significant key issue. This isn't an off-the-rack $4.99 cover price, $3.99 cover price book with FOMO. No, this is a real key issue. $1,700 for a 9.8. Can it go any higher? I've been wrong because I always say, no, I don't know. Can it really go higher? But if we get Rogue or if we get a teaser of Rogue, if in fact she wipes out Captain Marvel in the second Captain Marvel movie, and now we have the Rogue that we all know from the X-Men, from the cartoon, from the books, you know, the super-powered Captain Marvel Rogue, that would be awesome. And it may send this book go crazy. But we'll see. I think $1,700 is crazy for this book in a 9.8. But then again, you know, it is a key. These are the books that I love. These are the kind of keys that I like buying. Not ones like the next one. Number 6 on our list. This is the Blue Beetle number 3. 2 years ago, photos leaked from the Suicide Squad set of John Cena, Christopher Smith, a.k.a. Peacemaker. At the time, the leaked photo showed Cena in a prison uniform, making many think he would play the character more modern as first seen in this issue. The speculation led to high sales of $20 for a raw copy. 2 years later, it is well known that Cena proudly wore the original Peacemaker costume, like everywhere. There's still some light speculation that he could still ditch the costume at the end of the Peacemaker HBO series, but that may not do much for this issue. Still today, it has a fair market value of about $12, and 9/8 selling for $60. It's a super slight bust, $19 down to $12. I don't fall for this stuff. I hope you guys don't either. Now, then again, $12 for this, all right, you know, $10. I'll buy $10 for a minor key, first appearance, or new. Just stick with the good stuff. Stick with the good stuff. I say it all the time. Stick with the older stuff, the silver, the bronze, even some of the better modern stuff. But I don't mean like the modern stuff. I mean like that 80s, maybe even 90s stuff. I'm not going to get frustrated. Let's just go down to number 5. This is Aggretsuko number 1, the canon variant. I'm probably saying that wrong. This thrash metal loving red panda sure moved some books. This time 2 years ago. The character was getting his own Netflix series, and fans were expecting this to be the big hit in comic form. Granted, when it came out, it was with it hitting $22 for a raw copy. 2 years later, the market doesn't seem to care about this book, as seen by its current fair market value of $4 and $37 and a 9.8. Another bust list, guy. Another bust. Guys, Are you seeing the pattern here on which books are busts and which books are boosts? You know, this on your pull list, you're paying cover price, who cares? Doesn't matter. All this stuff on this list, you're paying cover price, who cares? It doesn't matter. You're not losing anything. But if you're out there paying $20, $30, $40 for a book that just came out a day or two ago, shame on you. Take that money, sit on it, wait, and maybe go buy, I don't know, like a 90s key or an 80s key issue. Not this stuff that's just off the rack. But again, paying cover price, it's fine. No big deal. Let's go down to number 4. This is Lois Lane, number 8. This is the Shirahama variant. Probably said that wrong too. A guy all tongue twisted this whole video. While issues number 7 of Lois Lane featured the first cameo of the Kiss of Death, this issue featured the first full appearance, selling for a high of $20 for a raw copy. As noted, the Kiss of Death was only around for 4 issues and no longer exists. That has lowered the fair market value to $10 raw, $30 in a 9.8, which is crazy because it costs more to get the book graded. Like issue number 7, sales are very slow. Here's another bust. We're not even going to get into this. We already talked about it. Let's go to number 3. This is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 28. 2 years ago, every YouTube comic show was speculating on the true identity of Black Winter, who first appeared in Thor number 1 as a cosmic storm. One name that was thrown around and had significant traction was the oh my god. See, the whole video. Omnipotent. No, forget it. It was an interesting theory that immediately moved copies as high as $120 raw and $279.99 for a 9.8. 2 years later, it seems silly to even mention this speculation, as the Black Winter turned out to be an original entity who ended up being destroyed at the end of the Donny Cates' run. Not the run, just his arc. Though while the values have dropped and this is a bust, there's still market interest in this issue. It currently sells for a fair market value of $60 and $144 in a 9.8. Okay, some value there. You know, I'm eating my words a little bit, but it's still a bust if you were paying top dollar when all the hype was going on. Don't fall for the FOMO. You can hear it all the time. The next one though, a nice 80s book. Let's go down to number 2. West Coast Avengers number 45. 2 years ago, we had our first WandaVision teaser during the Super Bowl via Marvel's Disney Plus, The Universe is Expanding promo, which revealed a White Vision. Granted, the WandaVision portion was all in black and white. Still, that sent fans rushing to buy this first appearance of White Vision, with Raws selling at $34 and 9/8 at $130. As we all know now, after watching WandaVision in 2021, the Vision did take on his all-white appearance, which he is thought to still feature today, though we haven't seen him since. He's MIA. We have no idea where Vision went off to. When White Vision first appeared in February 2021, this first appearance hit a big high of $1,500 and a 9.8. 1 year later, that 9.8 has fallen to a fair market value of $440, with Raws at $50. While this is a big dip in price 2 years later, it is still a boost. Guys, you saw a year ago, now granted, this is a 2-year video, but a year ago, this book was hitting, what did we say, $1,500. It's come all the way down to $440. But if you go back 2 years ago, that was just last year. 2 years ago, the 9/8s were only $130 during that promo, the Super Bowl. I know we all watched it, and I know we were all freaking out like, look at this, Disney Plus is going to be amazing. Now, 2 years ago, if you bought it for $130, you're looking pretty good. If you paid $1,500, you might be a little disappointed. But with that being said, White Vision isn't gone. He's just MIA. We have no idea where he went. He will come back. He has to come back. Maybe not in Doctor Strange, or maybe in Doctor Strange. That would make a little bit of sense, wouldn't it? Maybe not in Moon Knight, maybe not in Thor, or maybe down the line. But he's not gone. He's somewhere. He may appear, and when that happens, you may see this book start to creep up again. Will it ever hit 1,500? I don't know. I don't think so. But again, I've been wrong so many times when I think books have peaked. And just for the argument of this entire video, which you can tell I'm already frustrated with, the only 2 books that have had a significant boost or a real boost or any kind of profit are books from the 80s that are real key issues, not these FOMO books. Just keep that in mind while we talk about number 1. This is Lois Lane, number 8. Yeah, back to the Kiss of Death, where this standard cover was the hottest book of the week. Fans truly thought this villain might turn into something big down the road. DC sure promoted it as such. It was trending at $18 for a raw copy with no 9.8 sales. 2 years later, copies barely move. Despite its current fair market value of $12 and $40 for a 9.8, which is about what it would cost you to get it graded if you hit a 9.8 with shipping. Could this character come back? Sure. Technically, the character didn't die. She just lost her powers and came back to her senses. With that said, this was perfect case in point for some of those miscellaneous villains that are flavors of the week. With that said, you also didn't really lose too much here, so sometimes that gamble could be worth it if you're willing to let $20 go at the hope of it being much, much more. But for now, this was a bust. This whole video was filled with flavors of the week. The only two books that really made you money were significant keys with I don't even know if I want to say major characters. Rogue is a major character. White Vision, but still, you see the trend week in and week out. We talk about this. Look where the busts are. Look where the boosts are. Look at the books, guys. I would rather miss out on a modern flavor of the week type of book and miss out on the punchlines of the world than all of these L's. Look at all these losses. Look at all these just busts. Again, I've repeated myself this whole video. If you're buying it at a cover price or even $5, maybe even $10, it's fine. Who cares? You just don't want to be at the top end of that spectrum. You don't want to be paying $20, $30, $40 for a book that's coming back down to 10. You don't want to do that, especially if you do that 5, 6, 8, 10 times and you say to yourself, oh, I'm not going to fall for it next time, and you do it again. Try not to do it, guys. Let's run some numbers here. And remember, Covrprice. Check out covrprice.com. We don't even need to add this one up. Every book was a bust except for Rogue, whose first appearance was incredibly cheap 2 years ago and now no longer the case. Plus White Vision. Now, there are plenty of lessons here in this top 10. Be cautious of content rumors around independent titles and don't chase FOMO books at their top dollar, especially for villains. Justice Society of America is the one book on here that may be worth jumping into before the full Black Adam trailer hits. If Cyclone is visible in the trailer, then this will have a decent bump in price, but it's also a book you could probably sit out. Regardless, fun list that every new collector should keep in consideration when trying to navigate market heat. Guys, make sure to check out covrprice.com and see what's on the current top 10 and their various trending movers and shakers list. Come back for the next show in 2 weeks. What are we going to do? We are going to cover books back from 1 year ago. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I was aggravated in this video. I appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, and as always, keep it comics.